5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you Group C of the OSL Round of 16, Day 2. This is going to be an exciting matchup between Baxter and TY, aka Baby. I will call him Baby, even though I guess at this point he's no longer that young anymore. Regardless, Baby is the Brown Terran at the 1 o'clock position, and Baxter is the Zerg player at the 7 o'clock position on the map, New Bloody Ridge here. This is going to be a very exciting game because Baxter is the player I am looking forward to the most, perhaps outside of Flash and Jaedong in the OSL Round of 16. His play in the ODT was astonishing. He channeled Savior's old skills. I mean, that was like stepping in a time machine back to 2006 and watching Savior dismantle a top-level Terran. His game against Sea Shield, which was just incredible to watch, in my opinion. Wow, you know, here we see the question remains whether Baxter has been possessed by Savior, either, you know, coming down from the heavens or perhaps more likely coming up from hell. Actually, let's not speak so ill of Savior. Regardless of his faults as a person, his StarCraft skills does put him up there among the other gods. There's no question about that, at least in his prime. So, Savior, the question remains, was Baxter possessed by Savior, or did he find his own skills? Oh, we have more audience members. There are so many people here. They don't even seem to have enough seats for them. Such is the OSL Round of 16 here. The excitement in Korea. People want to see Baxter here because I agree, he has potential. But was it a fluke? Or was he merely possessed? Or did he really find his own inner strength and champion? That is the question here, because if he was possessed, then perhaps without the aid of Savior, he'll just revert to another mediocre Zerg. But if he found his own strength, he could be the next great thing here, and that is what we want to see. Baby, of course, good player when he wants to be, but he is so inconsistent. His mechanics are possibly the best of any Terran when they are on top of it. When he is on top of his game, he can micro 3 different areas at once. He can control 3 groups on 3 different parts of the map. It is insane to see him at his peak. Nobody else, I think, can manage so much at once. And his Wraith Micro is astonishing, to say the least. Not quite as amazing as Lita's, but I would say second best. And we see well, actually, it's not so surprising, a barracks into Command Center, I believe. I think I saw a barracks inside of Baby's base. Did he actually go for the 14cc? If so, that could be somewhat dangerous. Baxter is going to scout this out with his own Overlord. He's gone for, I believe, hatchery into pool, and he's put down a 3rd hatchery here. 3 hatchery build. That is what saved. Yeah, okay. Baby went for the barracks in the Command Center. I was like, it didn't seem right for 14cc anyway. It seemed too early, and now Baby putting down a 2nd barracks. So, let us see what skills Baxter can pull out here. 3 hatcheries, that is a Savior-esque build, if I don't dare say so myself. Okay, that's not so unusual these days in TVPZ. Gotta stop with the Savior references. What else can I say about the legendary Maestro? Some people have been comparing Baxter actually to Mini Jaedong. I guess we haven't seen enough of his games to decide, but there is a very, very clear difference between someone like Savior and Jaedong. Jaedong, I feel, has such perfect mechanical skills that he's able to overpower his opponent. He's, most of the time, it's like this perfect warrior, no flaws in his technique. Whereas Savior, you know, when he plays, he's more of a person who uses the environment to his full advantage. You know, he doesn't fight fair, if you would. His technique is not perfect. In fact, he's not even a very good microer. His APM is quite low, in the low 200s, I believe. That is very low for a pro gamer, a Zerg at that. But he is able to destroy opponent after opponent by just perfect use of his units at the critical moment, and just outsmarting his opponents a lot of the times too. So he is someone who, would more use environmental hazards in his favor if this were a fight. Perhaps, wow, I gotta come up with a better analogy. I'm gonna have to think of a movie or something, but right now I am incapable of thinking of one, unfortunately. So, Baby pushing out with a small force of Manic Marines into the middle of the map here. Not quite able to do too much except maybe try to force Baxter to put down a creep colony. But I'm not sure whether Baxter is going to actually fall for that. He can, I think, morph a few more Zerglings and try to go for some sort of attack in the field here if Baby pushes out too early. These Medic Marines are quite vulnerable to a good surround by speed Zerglings. But Spire is coming out here from Baxter, so he also has the opportunity to use Mulus in a capacity to cripple Baby's field army. When Baby decides to push out, this could be a go. And look at that! Hiding a Zergling outside of Baby's base just to see units come out. That is so sneaky! I really am. I hate to say Savior-esque because, you know, people always say that for subpar play, but that is so sneaky and clever. We'll see, though. We'll see. I guess I really hope that Baxter is one of these up-and-coming Zerg players who realize, Mom, Brandon, look at that! Baby's not even aware of the Zergling there. It's so hilarious. I just cannot believe it. And then perhaps Baby will realize it sooner or later when he attacks moves with his units. Maybe chasing Baxter's units away here. Baxter content just to delay Baby's forces for now. And that Zergling will actually be critical. It'll allow Baxter to see where Baby's forces are in the middle of the map and open himself up an opportunity to attack. Baby now reinforcing his defenses there at the natural with turrets and a turret in his main and a bunker there to defend. He is paranoid about Mulus abusing that ridge. Probably a good move. Overall, Baby scan sees that the Mulus are out, so he needs to be careful with his army in the middle of the map. He can be in great danger of losing his units if he is not careful to Mule-Ling surround attack. Very devastating. Baby stemming his forces, perhaps unnecessarily so. He's got himself a lot of infantry that as long as he can fortify them inside his base, there's little chance Baxter is really doing too much damage. Baxter is taking this opportunity to expand, probably the correct move here. No need to, and now he's baiting the stem a little bit here, doing his best to force Baby to waste stems. Baby with 3 barracks, often when you see the super strong Terran infantry push, you see 5 barracks, but with 3, Baby is going to go try to get science vessels faster. Now Baxter getting his Hydralisk Den Evolution Chamber. He's going to get Lurkers soon, and let's see how good his Lurker play is in this game. It was amazing against C. And now Baxter going to be forced back a little. Baby bringing up a lot of units. Ooh, careless by Baxter. He went in and picked off a medic, but losing a Mulus, I think that is not a worthwhile trade. If he can find a bit more of an opportunity to attack, that might work. And Baxter's defenses are paper thin at the front. He's picked off a second medic there. Very interesting. Baby is down to the 1 medic for all these Marines. Oh, okay, he has 3 more medics in the back there. And Baby splitting up his forces a little bit. If Baxter had some Marines, he might have an opportunity to launch a surround attack. But no, Baxter is trying to attack into the teeth of these medic Marines. I think that is quite foolish decision by him. I guess he's trying to bait the stem more than anything else, sniping what units he can, but he needs to be very careful here. He can't risk losing too many Mulus like this. And he's going to pick off some more Marines, but losing yet more Mulus. I'm not convinced this is completely worthwhile. Baby is stemming like a madman here. One thing Baxter is doing, though, he is building a few more Zerglings. He's trying to position his forces, and he's not quite managed to pick off that last medic there. But Baby is paranoid, and it looks like he is going to be forced to withdraw his forces. Now might be the opportunity for Baxter to lure Baby into a decisive battle here, where Baxter will have the advantage. Baxter picking off yet more Marines, Baby bringing out reinforcements. I wonder if that Zergling is still alive. Possible to tell on the mini-map, or really even looking at the map. And now Baxter with a lot of Zerglings out. Baby probably has +1 ground attack upgrade finish, and he's going to finish off that Overlord there. That's going to annoy Baxter, certainly. Baxter also losing another, Baxter with the +1, Baby with the +1 ground attack upgrade finish, and Baxter coming, sniping some reinforcements. Nice little maneuver there with his Mulus. That's the way you should use your forces. Attack where the Terran is weaker. And now Baby, Baxter needs to be very careful. He's running his Mulus all over these Marines. Oh, terrible play by Baxter. He's shaking his head. Oh, terrible, terrible play. This is not Savior-esque. This is not Jaedong-esque. but he has an opportunity to redeem himself in a massive attack, even losing those meals. As long as he can finish off this field army somehow of babies, he will be in a great position. Sooner or later, we'll probably have to start calling baby TY. What Baxter cannot do is launch the frontal assault with these Zerglings against those Marines up on the high ground. That's going to be an absolute disaster if he does so. He needs to be very careful and withdraw his forces. For now, if he attacks, this will be a devastating defeat here, a decisive victory for Baby, and Baxter, I fear, will be in trouble. Now Baxter is bringing up some lurkers here. If he can use the lurkers in conjunction with Mulas and probably send a force of Lings around the back, he could yet be in a good position. Baxter with some units there on top of his ramp to protect it. So, massive attack coming in by Baxter. I'm not sure whether this was the wisest move. He's lost a lot of Zerglings, doing very little damage. This is not a good maneuver, I feel. And Baby now going to sneak some vultures by, probably going to lay some mines. Not quite sure why Baxter went for that attack. Oh, terrible, terrible stuff here. And I am getting more disappointed by the minute here. Baby has got himself up in a great position here, laying mines in the back there to stop reinforcements and to prevent a retreat. And you can see Baxter trying to send his Zerglings out here to clear the mines, losing yet more units that he can ill afford to lose. Baby's main army is plenty safe. Baxter, though, not out of the game. He still has opportunity to do something. He can still try to destroy Baby's field army somehow. He's got himself hive up. If he can get a few good swarm assaults down, he could yet win the game. Baby up 3 bases here. Very dangerous for the Zerg to allow Terran to mine from 3 bases. And now Baby massing up a lot of infantry here. He's got science vessels out to irradiate. Baxter doing his best to burrow on top of the cliff here. But Baby not able to press the assault against these lurkers on the high ground. He's got science vessels out to irradiate. And really, I don't know what Baxter can do at this point, short of delaying for Swarm. I think if he tries to engage with his army on the field, he is going to suffer a big defeat here. And Baby now confident enough to push out. Baxter forced to fall back. I feel he had some opportunity earlier in the game, but now he is strictly on the defensive until he can get Swarm out. And Baby is going to persist. You got a massive push. Greater Spire coming out from Baxter. Okay, he has gone a little insane. If he wants to go for a Guardian strategy, he'd be wise to morph a few Scourge, not only to pick off science vessels, but to pick off Braves that may be incoming here. Very risky play by Baxter. I have to say, we'll see whether this is genius or insanity soon enough. If it works out, of course it's genius, but I'm not so sure it'll work out. He's spreading himself thin in terms of his units, not able to land those Scourge. That's not going to be good for him. He needs to start limiting the science vessels sooner rather than later. 2 isn't so bad, but even they can cause more damage to his lurkers than he wants. Already the lurkers under some irradiate assaults. There are some Guardians being morphed in the middle of the map at that, which is actually somewhat unusual. Oh, mines killing so many Zerglings there. Vultures are very devastating, and Baxter just not playing quite so well. Perhaps he was only possessed by Savior after all, and now he's reverting back to form here. That would be disappointing, to say the least. This is not quite the masterful display I was hoping to watch. And now the Guardians coming out here in the middle, being unleashed against a few vultures. That's not going to matter. Baby transitioning to mech at this point. Mech is going to be somewhat difficult, I feel, to deal with. Now Baxter bringing his units up to the north here. He needs to be very careful to protect his Guardians. He's got a lot of Guardians actually over the natural, and he's actually doing quite well there. He's also got a defiler that he can use to assault. Oh, those mines not dragged into the dragging the Metamarines. How critical that would have been. Now these units taking so much damage from mines. There is a swarm down, and Baxter is going to use his lurkers to pin down Baby's main army here. While the Guardians cause a lot of damage, they might be able to destroy the command center. Baby not paying attention, losing the command center in the natural. Terrible, terrible by Baby. Why doesn't he build some raids to deal with these Guardians? 1 raid, that's all he needs. Now the Marines are forced to engage the Guardians, and Baxter with a swarm assault here at the front. It looks like things are actually going reasonably well for Baxter. Baby is able to hold his defenses, and Baxter not able to finish off the science vessels, unfortunately. Now a Wraith is finally out to start dealing with these Guardians, and there are no Scourge there to deal with the Wraith, unfortunately. So, there are more Scourge coming out. Baxter might lose 1 or 2 Guardians at this point, but it almost doesn't appear to matter. The Wraiths are coming out here, and there are 3 Guardians left. One of the Wraiths go down to Scourge. Baby looking in some trouble here. And Baxter, with a brilliant maneuver, may have turned himself turned the game in his favor here, catching Baby while he's transitioning to mech. Tanks do nothing against Guardians here, and now Science Missiles is going down. GG coming from Baby! Somehow Baxter being behind most of the game with 1 brilliant strike when Baby was least expecting it when he was transitioning to mech, winning the game. I guess I had too little faith there in some of his earlier assaults, but he made the attack that mattered. Baxter may yet be the next great thing. Thank you for watching. Going on to the next game.